riots also. I know this is not paranormal related, but they got a big population of 18 million, and pretty much 1 million people have taken to the streets.
Big
right?
changes going on over there, son.
Mubarak, the dictator, this is just something that you're going to see everywhere, I think. Hopefully not. But, I mean, if this kind of institutionalized dictatorship is put in place by people out to make a buck, it's going to happen. The people are going to fight back at some point, and let's just hope it doesn't happen in the spots where we least expect it, right? We want to change the world for the better, not the worse. So let's oust these dictators and elect, individuals and ourselves who can go ahead and make that positive change one person at a time. That's a huge deal going on there, and all our warmest wishes and thoughts to the people over there in turmoil, and hopefully we'll get some clear change happening there. So, that being said, it's a big show here. Yvonne Smith interview, like I mentioned, but there's a lot of news going on all over the world. Let me start with Nick Redfern. I got a couple of his books recently, Contactees and the NASA Conspiracies, and they're just fantastic. They're a great read, and Nick Redfern, he's prolific. The guy just writes more and more books. Like, he writes over the course of a period of time, but his publisher, of course, unleashes these things like a fury all at once to make him look like some kind of superhuman novel-making machine. Now, it slips my memory what the new book is called, but a brand new one just came out. These two, their covers aren't even wrinkled yet. Contactees, of course, is the story of contactees over the course of the last, 5 or 6 decades, but specifically in the beginning, from the 40s, up until the 60s or 70s, with some CIA involvement there. And the NASA Conspiracies, of course, speaks for itself. And who do we think about when we think about the NASA Conspiracies but Mr. Richard Hoagland, who worked for NASA themselves for many years and has come up with all kinds of theories. How improbable they may sound to you may hold some water, like the infamous face on Mars and the pyramids of Cydonia in pretty much the same region as the face on Mars. There's all kinds of other things that Hoagland goes into, of course, about the moon and structures there and reasons why we don't go back and blah, 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 blah. But the NASA Conspiracies has some interesting stuff to say. Not quite finished that one yet. But it talks about people from within NASA making claims about incredible things. I don't want to spoil it for you, and I don't want to talk about it all day long because I'm not promoting Nick Redfern. We're here to talk about everybody. But check it out. The guy's prolific. Very, very cool. Have a look for yourself. I know that he's been on Mysterious Universe with Ben Grundy and Aaron White for quite some time, and he's a really interesting person, very intelligent, and he does some quotes from the late Mack in there, and it's definitely worth reading. The celebrated Mack, of course, is the guy who had the theory of aliens not necessarily being from outer space or interdimensional, but perhaps crypto-terrestrial from planet Earth being here all along and kind of secretly and covertly sharing our planet and hiding from us. For what reason? What end? Who knows? Who knows? Are they dinosaurs? Maybe. I don't know. You be the judge. This is the forum where we just present the information and stories. You're the one that must be the judge. All kinds of stuff going on, like I said to you before. I got to tell you, please get a hold of me if you want to send me to Scottsdale, Arizona, for God's sakes. I want to be there. But it's not looking good, people, so help me out. Of course, Open Minds Magazine, I've got the new one here. The Crop Circle issue is quite nice. And, of course, they're hosting the Scottsdale, Arizona International UFO Congress right there on a Havapay Reserve. Beautiful, beautiful place. Red mesas everywhere. Very tranquil, an indigenous area, with some of the top people in the world speaking at this event. It's a 4-day festival, and of course at the beginning there is the Extraterrestrial Biological Entity Film Festival, where you get to sit there all day long and fill your boots about all things paranormal, extraterrestrial, off the grid, underground, stories and theories and data from people all over the world, trying to spread a message of truth and insight into the double life that seems to be happening here. The one that they feed us, a la Fox News, a la jaded CNN programming, and then the other one, which is unfiltered, public, people-driven information. There's a lot of information to corroborate what these people are saying of these extraordinary claims. UFOs? Absolutely. We've got black and white data from all over the place. What are the UFOs? No one really knows, but people of high rank in military institutions, government institutions, doctors, lawyers, physicians, telling these stories. These aren't crackpots. Something's happening. What it is, we need to get to the bottom of it. Then, of course, there's a whole other abduction scenario, which Yvonne will talk to us about tonight. What kind of program is taking place here? Is it legitimate? One thing is certain, as John Mack, the late John Mack, professor of Harvard University and Pulitzer Prize-winning novelist, said, whatever the abduction phenomena consists of is irrelevant. Who it is, what is going on, it doesn't really matter. The fact is that there's a nature of duality taking place where something is happening. It's both physical and non-physical at the same time. It has very legendary and mythological qualities that we're just beginning to unravel. And it must be addressed. What exactly is happening? Something is happening. What it is or who it involves, it really doesn't matter. Millions of people are sharing the same story. So Yvonne's going to talk to us about the alien abductions scenario going on all around the world. Very insightful. I got really down and dirty with her and asked her what she thought was happening with the hybrid program, because I had heard stories of people talking about seeing these hybrids that they had met in the past in public. And so I asked her about that. On the same grain, in this new Open Minds magazine, that was my segue here, there's some evidence of extraterrestrial human hybridization kind of unraveling itself on Earth here. There's a Puerto Rican woman who claims to be the offspring of an alien encounter that's popped up. And there may be evidence to support her claim. She's from the Milagros, her name is Milagros Garcia, and her blood was extracted and tested. And it was so unusual that scientists want to meet with her to do additional studies. Before she learned about this, though, of course, her DNA, she had come out and said that she claimed to be a hybrid alien, a mix of human and alien being, created through a hybridization program. And the doctors then, who tested her DNA, were unaware of her extraordinary claim, and she didn't even know at this point. And of course, although the DNA is irregular, these tests are strange, it doesn't necessarily mean that she's an alien hybrid, okay? Let's get to the bottom line here. Could mean a lot of things. Could be just a blood anomaly. That's very strange. However, there is another woman who is insinuated by Open Minds magazine who has the same DNA anomaly, who has very special talents. They don't say what, but they're insinuating that they're investigating this. She seems to get by on 2 hours of sleep and has other special skills they don't speculate. I guess that's going to be some kind of bigger spread later on. Now, I wonder, there was a fella from, now what lake was it? Lake Erie, Michael Lee Hill, a musician, and another guy, Terrell, I can't remember his last time, he was ex-military. They were both featured on UFO Hunters because he had these incredible videos that they had posted on YouTube that got unusual amounts of hits, of views, of these craft that kept showing up over and over and over again. And it turned out that when UFO Hunters got these guys together in a forum for a program, they both had some kind of unusual blood anomaly. The speculation, of course, was that there was some kind of connection between their blood and their high unusual amount of sightings. So I want to relate that to this story that Open Minds is bringing about. What that all means, or if it's all connected, I'm not sure. But we are, in fact, in a unified field of sorts where everything kind of connects. In one way or another, does it not? I just watched a new documentary starring Morgan Freeman called Wormhole Through the Universe, Through the Wormhole. And it's a look at dark matter and how everything, all galaxies exist in a constant gravitational rotation around the black hole, the center of a galaxy, all at a constant speed. Now, our solar system doesn't work that way. All bodies closest to our star rotate faster, and as you go out farther from the star, their orbits slow. But in galaxies, all bodies travel at the exact same speed. I think it's 25,000 miles a second. Now, physicists and astronomers looked into this. This is a cool story. Hear me out now. It's wondering why there's this constant speed, because it doesn't follow the laws of physics. But of course, new investigations with the highest powered physics equipment available modern day has seemed to uncover the existence of dark matter. the elusive, invisible particle that physicists and astronomers have been searching for forever, that connects and surrounds all of these galaxies. It's the dark matter that seems to emit some sort of gravity that keeps that speed consistent. Now, the unusual thing is when they built these maps with these high-end computer systems of what the dark matter should look like, every galaxy in the entire universe was connected by a thread of dark matter. And where the highest concentrations of galaxy and stars were, that's where the dark matter was. So, does this go on to prove the existence of the unseen that we are very ignorant of, that may also connect all of ourselves to one another and to a whole new universe unfolding before us? Very interesting stuff. Check it out. Morgan Freeman's always a great host with his dramatic pauses and interesting insights. Check that out, Dad. It's a good one.
That sounds very interesting.
Very good.
I'll be checking that out for sure, son.
So what can we talk about here? Do you want to skip to that slow coaster track, see if we can get that going again?
Let's do that.
Let's give it a shot.
Great band from Sydney, Nova Scotia.
Unified Field Radio. All right, we're back here on the Unified Field. I'm your host, Mr. Justin Brown, and we're back broadcasting from the Unified Field show on CKU 88.1 FM with a guest, Mr. Bruce. I'm glad that he's here.
I'm glad to be here, too.
So back to the news. We have an interview with Yvonne, but it's going to run about 45 minutes. Usually you guys get a jam-packed, whopping hour-plus interview with these dazzling people, but Yvonne, of course, is a very, very busy lady, so I spared her the trouble and shortened it down to 45 minutes, compressed everything into a nice, neat little package And we've got all kinds of new news for you.